So, just so YouTube doesn't try to take this episode down, I'm going to say disclaimer. Ye's attempt at normalizing Hitler is going to offend people. I in no way agree with what Kanye West is saying, but I understand what he is trying to say. I don't think it's his real opinion because when he is making his points, there is no substance behind it. It's cloudy thoughts, probably put there by the griefer himself, Nick Fuentes. So, if you find me laughing at what he is saying, it is because I find it hilarious that he is saying these things. It's not because I agree with it. It is because I find his opinion highly offensive. And the best way to diminish it is with laughter. Okay? So let's continue on. So, Dan Carlin from Hardcore History has said in several episodes, and I also believe he touches on it in the Wrath of the Khans episodes, that one day Hitler will not be seen for his atrocities, but be seen for his accomplishments, because that's what happened to Genghis Khan. And if we go back far enough, Genghis Khan was seen by people of the East as a horrific person, a person of genocide, a person of pure evil. They saw Genghis Khan the same way we perceive Hitler today. But once you put decades between the horrific events, they start to fade away and the accomplishments start to shine. Hitler has many accomplishments and it's okay to acknowledge them, but it needs to be followed with, but this was the outcome, which was the Holocaust, okay? And I'm not sure if we've reached that point where Hitler's atrocities fade behind his achievements, but Ye is not the first person to do this. He is just the first Black American superstar to say this out loud and not be discreet about it. No, the media has been normalizing Hitler for several years now. You have movies like Look Who's Back and Jojo Rabbit, which I love Jojo Rabbit. It's a great movie, but in it, Hitler is portrayed as a happy-go-lucky mentor for Jojo. It's kind of gross. And Ye is entitled to his opinions. And what happened on Alex Jones' show is important for us to see so we can combat those bad opinions with the truth. So, on Thursday, Alex Jones had on Ye to talk about the current controversy that is happening within the realm of Ye. And it started innocent enough.
Well, where would you like to start? This first little 5-minute segment is just kind of a prelude to what's coming up. What do you want to cover here today?
Just God runs the world and Jesus is the way and the life. And it's time to put Jesus first in the way that we run our businesses, the way we run our families, our businesses, and the way we run our country.
Okay.
For radio listeners, we're on over 400 radio stations. They can't see you right now. This is a new look for you.
Oh, no, I've been wearing a mask for a while.
Ah.
Yeah.
So this is an archetypal example that the mask is off by putting the mask on?
People could take it how they want to take it.
You're giving them way too much out.
It's just, it's interesting. If you look at a Michael Jordan or something, you load up all these pictures and he's smiling and he's holding a basketball, he's jumping from the free throw line. And then you look at Phil Knight and you barely can see a picture of him and he's got his face covered. So I don't have to show my face. It's me. That's my right.
Well, I'm glad he's exercising his right. So, what's funny here is what he is wearing. It's a Balenciaga mask. And for those who don't know, Balenciaga is currently going through a scandal because of pictures of kids holding bears with bondage outfits on and well-placed documents of pedophile court cases within these same photo shoots. So the reason I bring that up is because while wearing that mask and after defending his reasons for wearing that mask, he brings this up.
One of the big topics right now is all of the pedophilia advertisement. And my take on that is, there's one place in the Bible where it says God sees sin differently, and there's another place where it says, let me get out my phone. I can really pull up the exact thing it says in the Bible. The general gist, and we'll get back to it after the 5-minute break, is that you have to stay strict to everything and remove as much sin as possible in order to serve God. And when people look at pornography, when a grown man is looking at a grown woman have sex on camera, you're still looking at someone's daughter, and you're looking at a lot of times someone that is the product of pedophilia.
Okay.
So people will engage in going to strip clubs or looking at pornography, but then the moral compass is like, oh my God, look at the pedophiles. But in a way, anybody who looks at pornography is a form of a pedophile also. Let's bank it all in. It's very simple. We're not going to be talking about all this moral code and these standards right here. It's either Christ said so or Christ said no.
It's either Christ said so or Christ said no. So let me understand his logic here real quick. So if watching porn is a form of pedophilia because the entertainers in the porn may have been sexually abused as children, and that's pedophilia, because you're taking part of it. What does that make you when you are wearing a mask designed by Balenciaga, which is currently going under investigation for pushing pedophile advertisements? No, that's my question. It's just a little hypocritical when you're kind of looking at it there, huh? And his thought process is not entirely wrong, And so according to the NIH, so between 66 to 90% of women in the sex industry were sexually abused as children. So I guess there is some truth to what he is preaching, but he knows what exactly what's going on with Balenciaga right now, and he still chooses to wear the mask designed by him. That's just, it's hypocritical to me, which I just kind of feel like he just threw everything together that day. He was like, this is what's happening, without any thought process of what's going on and what he's trying to preach, and his, him being hypocritical to what he's saying. He's all over the fucking place. But now, this would not be an interview with Ye if he didn't bring up how Zionists are bad, because that's what we have come to expect from him. But he decides to take it a step further. Now, he doubled down on an already controversial opinion by saying that he likes Hitler.
Well, I said with Ali Alexander and Nick Fuentes that we're like the SWAT team of free thought, and I go in with this battle ram at the door, and then they come in with these laser beams and have that information. And we work together as a team. A lot of times in media, they want to single out one person and burn them to the core. That is a Zionist approach. And they're asking me to use that same approach. Well, hey, don't say all people, just say specifically the businessmen. And then I go on Lex Fridman and I say who it's specifically, and that's still not enough. They're still taking it too far. Everyone knows and agrees now that it's like a reverse version of American History X, the scene when they put the guy's head against the curve and kick the back of it. And now people are like, wait a second, the so-called crime doesn't deserve the punishment. What did I thought?
That's right. You're not Hitler. You're not a Nazi. You don't deserve to be called that and demonized.
Well, I see good things about Hitler also. I love everyone, and Jewish people are not going to tell me you can love, us. And you can love what we're doing to you with the contracts. And you can love what we're pushing with the pornography. But this guy that invented highways, invented the very microphone that I use as a musician, you can't say out loud that this person ever did anything good. And I'm done with that. I'm done with the classifications. Every human being has something of value that they brought to the table, especially Hitler.
Yes.
How about that one?
Jesus. Look, you are allowed to have your opinion, okay? But if you're going to bring to the table an opinion that is highly controversial, you better have receipts, and you need to make sure that what you were saying is correct. Otherwise, you're just going to look like an idiot. Okay? And that's exactly what happened here. Because Hitler, he didn't invent the highway nor the microphone. You know, I guess people try and say he invented highways because of the Autobahn, but I think the Autobahn was already built. You know? He doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. No, and I mean, he could have said that, you know, Hitler brought the German people out of the Great Depression. No, he could have said that, you know, maybe that Hitler brought the German nation back to a world power. No, he could have said that. No, that might have worked. You know, and you'd probably have some people pushing back on it, but I mean, it wouldn't sound like he doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about, because that's kind of what happened. It baffles me here, man. Oh no. So let's get into this next clip. And it will demonstrate what I was saying earlier, that these opinions are not truly his. And if they are his, they were formed right before he came to the show, you know? Because after saying that Hitler thing, he starts blaming the Zionists again. And when he reaches his mental limit of his argument, he has Nick Fuentes elaborate what he is trying to say.
My favorite thing that I got to say with Tim Pool was Rahm Emanuel was right there next to Obama. Jared Kushner was right there next to Trump. What are those two people, those two Zionists, I gave it away, have in common? Nick, can you pick that up and expound on that?
Absolutely, yeah. You know, and it's interesting because you've been going on these interviews with Lex Friedman and with Tim Pool and Piers Morgan, and they always say, well, don't talk about a group, talk about the individuals. And I would point out, one, it's hypocritical because in the same interview, Tim Pool said, well, wouldn't Ye be so great for the black vote? So you can say the black vote, but you talk about Jewish businessmen, and somehow that's a problem. You can't talk about groups when it's one but not the other. The other thing is that there is something baked into the cake in Judaism which affects how they're brokering these kinds of contracts with entertainers like Ye. If you look at the Talmud, which is a real Jewish holy book, or part of the holy book, there's the written Torah, which is the Hebrew Bible. There's the oral Torah, which was written down as the Mishnah and then interpreted in the Talmud. In the Talmud, it says that Jews have to treat Gentiles differently than they treat other Jews. There's all kinds of examples of this. They say that if a Jew indirectly kills a Gentile, there's nothing even wrong with that. There's nothing morally wrong with that. They say that for a Jew to have sex with a Gentile is comparable to bestiality. They say that the semen of a Gentile is like that of horses. They also say that you can't give a gift to a Gentile. A Jew is not permitted under the Talmud to give a gift to a Gentile. They're not permitted to charge each other interest, but they're encouraged to charge Gentiles interest.
What do they say about pedophilia?
They say that that's, in some cases, licit.
Yeah, just to kind of toss the fucking whipped cream on top, huh? Oh man, you know what? I'm not gonna say that those aren't in that book. You know, because I'm sure, you know, Nick Fuentes has done some research. You know, because he's not a dumb dude. He's very well spoken, misguided probably, but he's not dumb. You know, it is easy in the conspiracy world to see a cluster of things pointing in one direction and assume that is the answer, you know, but correlation does not imply causation, right? And so the book he is talking about, the Talmud, and this is me simplifying it, by the way. The Talmud functions as a Torah dictionary. You know, it is used to study the Torah. You know, according to my understandings, if you're reading the Torah and a passage says blank, blank, and you don't understand what blank, blank means, you refer to the Talmud for clarification. I'm sure I'm saying that name wrong. Talmud, I don't know. But Nick portrays the book as one of absolutes, but that's not the case for the book. It's a book of debate and philosophy. It's not meant to be absolute. It is meant to guide you, and it is up to you to interpret it in the way that makes sense to you. And when I was kind of talking to my friend about it, who's Jewish, he basically said that it's constantly being updated with new rabbis, and if they made something that makes sense to other rabbis, they'll add it in. No. To kind of compact down what I just said, Nick is wrong, and he doesn't know what he's talking about. And just to kind of give you an idea of how outlandish this interview was, he stops Jones mid-conversation to do this bit.
Alex.
Yes, sir.
I've got the perfect answer for the ADL. They are going to have to listen up. What we did is we brought Netanyahu with us.
I'm in the twilight zone right now.
Jesus.
Netanyahu, what do you have to say? What do you have to say to Alex Jones right now, Nick Fuentes and Ye? It was bad. It was bad for Trump to meet with Nick and Ye. Okay. I had no idea your voice is going to sound like that, Netanyahu.
Jesus fucking Christ.
So you don't like Benjamin Netanyahu?
I just heard about this guy 2 weeks ago since like the tweet, and I thought he had a funny name.
Oh, classic. That's all I got to say. Fuck. Oh, man. I'm not trying to bash Ye here. No, I like the guy. I think he has a good heart. Now, and he does make good points in this interview, but he constantly drifts in and out of how bad the Jews are that I can't show you what he is saying without getting kicked off of YouTube. Or two, it's just going to be so heavily edited that it doesn't sound like he's talking. Because that's what he does. He makes it like starts making a point, and then he drifts off, and then it just comes right back to how bad the Jews are. I'm just like, buddy, just finish out your thought, please. Just please do it. Because I'm just like, okay, I see where you're going here, yeah. And he's like, and the Jews are bad. I'm just like, quit. Just like, quit. But I have to say hats off to Kanye, because he's the only person I know that can make Alex Jones look like a centrist and the voice of reason at the same time. Now, you could tell Jones was feeling a little awkward, during that interview. And he even tries to run damage control, and Ye just crumbles it instantly.
All right. My mission here today is to offer the First Amendment, because as long as you're not carrying out violence against someone or asking people to be violent, like the left's asked people to burn down cities and attack Republicans and celebrate Rand Paul and Scalise being shot and attacked, then you have your free speech. And when the left came out in the last 10 years and really accelerated the last 5, 6, and said white people are inherently evil because of the color of their skin, and that somebody who moved here as a kid from Poland, they're supposed to pay reparations for what people did hundreds of years ago in this country. It's a divide and conquer strategy. I'm not getting into the reparations debate. I'm saying the groups pushing reparations are trying to cause division. And so I've said it, the most Nazi-like activities I've seen, and the Nazis, in my view, were thugs that shook people down, did a lot of really bad things.
But they did good things, too. We're going to stop dissing the Nazis all the time.
Okay.
Look at him. Fucking Jones's face is like, he's like, oh. It's just like, I just want to grab you and go, stop. just stop. Oh, man. No, I got to say bravo, Ye. No, you're the only man that can make Alex Jones blush. You would think that how ostracized Ye is, he would be trying to keep as many high-profile friends as possible, but no, just burn it all down.
Dave Chappelle is a hack, and he gets a lot of his jokes from Owen Benjamin. Dave Chappelle went on a Jewish platform and said, they dropped that nigga. Dave Chappelle said they dropped that nigga talking about Ye, and he called me Kanye, and I'm supposed to be his friend. Dave Chappelle does not believe in God and does not believe in Jesus. These are the kind of black leaders that the Zionists put in front of us. And meanwhile, we want to knock Herschel Walker, but Herschel Walker changed his life for Christ. And he might have had abortions, but he doesn't believe in abortion.
Well, sure, what matters is I have too. What matters is the heart.
Yeah.
He's just like, I don't know what to say anymore. And it's like that's that face that Joe just made. He's just like, oh, fuck. Probably because he brought in Herschel Walker, and we're about to go into the fucking runoffs, and he's probably like, shut the fuck up. Don't bring Herschel into this. We need him to win in Georgia. You know? Oh, it's wild, man. It's wild. You know, and at about that point where I just showed you, that's about 35 minutes in, and mind you, it's a 3-hour long interview. And I'm about to stop listening because I think I've kind of heard what I needed to hear. And then Ye hits us with pure gold.
That we get any kind of regime that's going to deliver the real change.
Nick, I got a question. If I say something that's provocative towards the Mossad, is that misogynistic? Hold on, let's hear from that.
Yes, Christ.
Hey, I'm the head of the Mossad. I'm gonna kill you and take your children away from you. Thanks a lot, Netin. Back to you, Alex.
Please turn your microphone around, sir. I mean, I'm definitely overwhelmed here right now.
Yeah, look at him.
Infowars.com, tomorrow's news today.
You're making Alex Jones
all I'm trying to get through here is, I believe every group should be able to be
switched his name to Netin. I dropped the Yahoo, so we didn't have to. I was tired of picking up the Yahoo and the Netin, so for now, he's just Netin. I know some people call him BB. No, so you call him Yahoo, but we better call him Netin. What you want, Netin? Hey, right after this, I'm going to say you're crazy. I'm going to take your family away from you. We're not done with you yet. You cannot cause free thought. We have to control the history books. We have to control the banks. And we have to go and kill people. Also, we're in the pedophilia.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. Thanks, Dad. I don't know what to say to that. Oh, and like I said earlier, this interview's 3 hours long, guys. You know, and we're now about the 40-minute marker with that clip that I just showed. No, it's a wild interview. It's 3 hours long. I sat through it that long. I'm just like, oh no. And it was basically that. It was him rehashing everything. You know, he'd rehash everything from the first hour. Once they got to the second hour, and once they got to the third hour, it was rehashing. You know, they never drifted away from the Zionists are bad. The Jews run fucking Hollywood, and I like Hitler. That's what it. What, you know? It's just like, Jesus, shut the fuck up, Kanye. So, to end this out, here is one more clip to prove that Ye doesn't know or understand what he is saying. He's regurgitating someone else's opinion that he thinks sounds edgy and smart. There's no substance in his argument, and you can tell just by hearing Ye try to articulate his view compared to Jones articulating his view.
Listen, all I'm trying to say is
Milo's Jewish. I love Milo. Yeah.
Thanks,
and you've got a little bit of the Hitler fetish going on.
It's not a fetish. It's not a fetish. That's a term. Like, I just love information. They have some documentaries. Apparently, Bezos is allowed to put up any documentary, but if a basketball player tweets it, he'll lose his entire career. I think that's...
Well, that's where I want to go, because you've got millions, hundreds of millions of Chinese locked down right now and Chinese are great people, but their government in that country is the most racist, homogenistic, or homogeneous, actually, group there is. And all I'm saying is I really care about those Chinese people under lockdown because they want to use that as a model against us. I'm just kind of not, I'm not on the whole Jew thing. It's what I'm saying. I don't care if people talk about it. I believe in free speech.
I'm
just really
you
worried
have
about
to
the forced
explain that,
injections,
Alex.
world government, 5G, the open borders, the collapsing currencies, war with Russia. What do you think?
I don't have all of that information. I have the information that 2 days ago I thought I was going to be put in prison because my accounts are frozen.
No, I get it. You're in Hollywood, and the managers you see.
It's hard to listen
so
to,
I get
guys.
it from your perspective. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, and I love Jesus, and I have to fight this war to make a better place for my children and for everyone else's children. I got to put myself, my accounts, my name at risk to stand in the front of this war that we have. This is InfoWars, right? So we're going to give this information on InfoWars.
Okay. Okay. All over the place. Now, like I said, there's nothing behind what he is trying to push. If those ideas were thought out in his head, he would be able to articulate it into a conversation that we can understand. Instead, it is a jumbled mess that goes from Hitler is good to Christianity to I love everyone, the Jews are bad, then back to Christianity. It's not making any sense. You know, you're going to have a hard time trying to get people to agree with you when you are generalizing a group of people that have a history of being generalized. I'm just putting that out there. Now, I'm sure he's been wronged by, some Jewish people. Look, and I understand. I have a friend that is Jewish, and sometimes I think he's a dirty shekel hoarder, but that's what I think of him as an individual, all right? That's not my assumption of the Jewish community as a whole. So, stop hanging out with political pundits and get back to making music, Kanye. You get 500 more chances with me, buddy, then I'm done.